Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to AdamMcKola TV. This is another Premier League weekly. In this show, we'll be going through the Premier League fixtures for this weekend, giving you some views, some predictions. We got some big fixtures coming up as well. Guardiola goes to Ellen Road to take on Bielsa's Leeds with his Manchester City side. Carlo Ancelotti take on Graham Potter's impressive Brighton side at Goodison Park, looking to keep up their 100% record. Obviously, we have Manchester United against Spurs, Jose against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well at Old Trafford. And we'll be going through the fantasy Premier League stuff and predictions for every single Premier League game this weekend. So make sure you're getting your thoughts in the comments below. You're liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing and all that good stuff. Let us know how you're getting on in the fantasy Premier League and the league code and everything else will be up at the end of the show, so keep it locked for that. But let's get stuck into these fixtures. First up, we'll talk about Leeds against Manchester City. The Manchester City and Pep Guardiola will be looking to get 3 points after that huge defeat at home against Leicester City. They've only got 3 points out of their 6 so far. Obviously, Manchester United have got a similar record as well, having started the season later than everybody else. And they won't want Liverpool to stretch that gap on them. Liverpool with a 100% record already. Pep Guardiola in his press conference has been speaking about Bielsa is the most authentic manager, and whilst his inspiration is Cruyff, he talks about how Bielsa is an inspiration to him as well and how much he admires him. And that's going to be an intriguing battle in the dugouts, isn't it? Obviously, both managers very tactical, both managers very different, both managers ask a lot from their players, and we could see a game that is very intriguing to watch tactically and in terms of the football out there on the pitch as well. So looking forward to this game. Leeds United at home, they'll be looking to use their Ellen Road and their home advantage to get the points that will keep them in the league this season. I think they'll comfortably stay in the league, to be honest with you, but that will be their objective first up, to get 40 points, make sure you're staying in the league, and then you can build from there. And their home form is going to be important, even without the fans. They can use their home comforts to their advantage, and we saw on the road at Anfield they got goals. So Manchester City will have to be wary, and they won't want to lose 2 out of their opening 3 because, when you look at the last couple of years, you'd probably say that's it for them in the title race. Now, I do think there's going to be a lot more upsets and twists and turns in this Premier League campaign than there was last season, because I think it's a much more competitive Premier League. When you look at beyond Liverpool and Manchester City, you look at the teams, Spurs have improved, Chelsea have improved. Even though Manchester United, we haven't had an amazing transfer window as I speak. For half of last season, we didn't have Bruno, Pogba, Rashford, etc. So, United will be looking to improve. Everton with Carlo Ancelotti, Leicester City will continue. So it's such a much more competitive league this year, I think, and we're going to see teams taking points of each other, and I haven't even mentioned the likes of Wolves who will be involved as well. So a massively competitive league this year, and this is another example of that, because would you put money on City winning this weekend? I wouldn't personally, because I think Leeds could have something about them in that game. Now, they've shown that they'll concede goals, and City will be licking their lips at that, but City will have to go there and be expecting a fight. Be expecting a big fight indeed. Now, there are 3 teams with a 100% record so far: Everton, Leicester and Liverpool, the current Premier League champions. And Everton welcome Brighton to Goodison Park, looking to keep up their record. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who is in my fantasy Premier League, getting another hat-trick this week as well in the League Cup. They'll be coming into this game flying, full of confidence, looking to keep this going. They've got United in the next round of the Cup, which isn't until December, but nevertheless, it's been a good start to the season for them, and they're really looking good under Ancelotti. I think the addition of Alan is a key signing, and I think he can go on to help, the likes of James Rodriguez and Richarlison and all these other players that they have, just go on and do the attacking things and not worry about what's going on behind them. They've had a really imbalanced squad over the last couple of years, and since Carlo Ancelotti's come in, he's identified a few spots that are key now. These are the kind of games where Everton over the years would have dropped points when they would have expected to win. Now, I think, big question mark over Pickford. I think in the next 12 months you'll see Ancelotti replacing him. Now there's a chance he could chuck one in the net. And Brighton under Potter, we've seen as Manchester United fans, they're very well drilled. They're very well, tactically they're very good. Graham Potter's not scared to change things around, go with a back three, go with a back four, change things during the game. They've got some talented players in there as well. I think Basuma's available for them again this weekend. So Brighton will go there looking to cause an upset, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But I think Everton will keep up their good form. They're flying at the minute, and I think even if Brighton were to get a goal or two, I think Everton at the moment look like they're going to be outscoring teams. Then, of course, we have that intriguing battle at Old Trafford. This one I cannot wait for. Now, if you want more on this game, obviously we've got the full preview up on AdamMcKola TV already. But if you just get stuck into Premier League Weekly, then let's have a little chat about it. Because this is a big game. Last year we got 4 points out of 6 against Jose Mourinho's Spurs. They have improved, but in the last couple of weeks they've had a load of fixtures, and that could be a good thing or a bad thing for them. We've seen the lack of pre-season, the lack of pre-season friendlies has affected us in the start of the season. We look leggy, we look tired, we look like we're not fit. Whereas Spurs' team, on the other hand, they've had a lot of fixtures in a short period of time. Yes, they could come into this game tired and all that kind of thing, but that could work in the other hand where they might be a little bit more fitter. Some of these players that didn't play against Maccabi Haifa, that have been involved in the Europa League before. Now, the likes of Kane and Cole did play against Maccabi Haifa midweek, but some of them did get a rest for that Chelsea game in the League Cup, where Chelsea were knocked out of the League Cup. Tottenham have an away trip to Stoke, which Jose Mourinho will be fancying. He'll want to get a trophy this year. Now, I'm a little bit unsure about what kind of team he puts out, but you can kind of guess from what you've seen. Kane's going to start, we know that. Lucas Moura's probably going to start. He didn't play in the last game. Bergwijn's played the last 2 games, so I imagine he might be one of those that comes out. Højbjerg, I think, someone that he relies on. Lo Celso, he played in the last game, but I think he'll start this one. He didn't play against Chelsea. And then it's who does he go with in the midfield? Is it an Ndombele or is it a Winks? Neither of them played in both games, so he could think both of them are fresh. And then in defence, Eric Dyer will return, I think, as well in there. We could see Reguilon start, but I think Doherty's a cert in there. And maybe Tanganga will come back in, because Alderweireld's played in the last 2 games, unless he thinks he's an experienced fella. He's probably, I'm not sure on his fitness, but maybe he starts. Son's 50-50. I had a decision whether to pull him out of my fantasy Premier League or not, and you'll see what I did in regards to that. But he's 50-50. He was thought to be definitely out of this game, but Jose's been hinting that he could be available, and that could be a big threat for them as well. Dele Alli came back into the squad this week after missing a few match day squads, but not sure he'll start this game. But it's an interesting battle ahead. I think you can almost kind of predict Manchester United's team. I think you'll see Martial, Rashford, Bruno, Pogba, Matic, Greenwood maybe as well in there. I think the biggest question marks are over centre-half. Who goes in alongside Harry Maguire? Harry Maguire had a knock and missed the League Cup game, but I expect he'll be available for this one, and it's who goes in alongside him, Bailly or Lindelof. And that's a key decision, because I think Kane would look at Lindelof and think, I'd have a go with him. Now, I do think Lindelof's a good player, but he hasn't been in great form. I don't think Maguire's been in great form either, but Eric Bailly has. Now, the captain's going to come back into the team if he's fit, and I'd keep Eric Bailly in the team for Manchester United. But I am confident as a United fan, but you feel there's a whole whirlwind of negativity around the team at the moment. Look, I think the transfer window has been disappointing. That doesn't need to be said, really, does it? But I think there are positive things about Manchester United's squad as well. Maybe not the squad, actually, that's the wrong word. The first 11, 12, 13 players that we've got there. There are positive things there. Now, we needed to have a good, strong window, so we weren't looking over our shoulder and we're looking ahead of us and trying to close that gap on City and Liverpool. We haven't done that, but we have the team. If you look at the team that we have going into this game, we have enough to be more than competitive, and I think we go into this game as favourites, and I'm hoping to see a Manchester United win. In fact, I'd probably predict that. Now let's have a look at the full fixture list then. As you see, Chelsea Palace is the first game of the weekend. Now, an interesting one. for Crystal Palace. Go in there, they could spring a shock. They've got some good players that could hit Chelsea on the break. We've seen Chelsea can concede goals, as we've seen at the Hawthorns. They'll be looking to bounce back from that draw at the Hawthorns and that League Cup defeat. So Chelsea will be going into this one looking to make a point. Their players will be looking to go into it and prove a point. And I think Crystal Palace, they'll have confidence to beat United at Old Trafford. And I wouldn't be surprised to see another shock here. I'm going for a score draw, you know. Everton Brighton, I think this one, I think Everton are going to win. I think Brighton will score. I wouldn't be surprised if they scored first. But I think Everton will win this one. Carlo Ancelotti's side are just ticking over nicely at the moment. And I think they'll go into this one, get a victory, and have a 100% record going into the international break, which is incredible, really. Leeds, I think they're going to beat City. I think this is the first proper shock of the season, really. I know City lost against Leicester, and you could say that's a shock, but the scoreline was more shocking than the result. I think we're going to see Leeds beat City. Newcastle, Burnley. I go Newcastle win. Leicester, West Ham. Go Leicester win. Southampton, West Brom. Go Southampton win, but West Brom could be a threat. Arsenal, Sheffield United. Sheffield United have signed Ryan Brewster now. I don't think he's been registered in time for this game, and they've been in poor form since the start of the season. I remember, I think it was Hugh. Was it Hugh? Was he saying on the kickoff? I'm on the kickoff this weekend for the United game, by the way, saying they'll go down. Or was it Rory? Sorry. Said they'll go down, and it's looking like he could be right at the minute, but then Ryan Brewster signing could be a shrewd signing because he looks like he's got goals in him. Wolves Fulham, I think that's the banker of the weekend, isn't it, for Wolves to win that one. Man United Spurs, I'm going United Spurs, or is that heart over head? I'm not too sure, but I'm hoping United have enough to dispatch of Spurs. And Aston Villa Liverpool, although Aston Villa have brought in Ross Barkley this week from Everton on loan, and I think that's a good signing for them and the level that they're at. I don't think they've got enough to beat Liverpool, so I think Liverpool will be getting 3 points there. Let us know your predictions in the comments below. Quick look at the Fantasy Premier League stuff. This is my team. So I did take Son out, took Jorginho out as well. I had 2 free transfers, and I replaced them with Zaha and Maddison. I've got a little bit of budget left over, but that's my team now. So Son and Jorginho out for Maddison and Zaha. What you think? As for the league, now I had a great week last week. The week before last. But then last week it was about 38, 39 points. I didn't have a great time. I've dropped down the table in terms of positions, 25 positions down from 25th. But I am only about 18 points from the top 10. So not too bad at all. Or 24 points from the top 10, sorry. So I'm looking to get into the top 10 this weekend. I'm looking to do that. And I'm hoping me making Martial captain and swapping the captaincy with Kane will come out key this weekend. Well done to Ronan Sheehy, who is top of the league with 223 points. But I am gunning for you. Anyway, guys, that has been this week's Premier League Weekly. If you want to join the channel league, then of course the league code was there. The link's in the description. Make sure you're keeping it locked. We'll have reaction to the Manchester United game over the weekend. We'll have United Daily Live all over the weekend. Premier League Gazette on Monday as well. And of course, I'm on the kickoff this weekend, so join us for that. Keep it locked. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I've been AdamMcKola. I'm out of here.